Hi, my name is Edward Kurczewski and I've been working in 2D traditional animation for over 10 years and have contributed to projects like Scavenger's Reign, Primal, Flea, and Tales of Alatreon. Working in animation has been my dream as long as I can remember. I've always wanted to create worlds and bring characters to life. The first challenge I faced was, where do I start? Where I can learn this? I noticed that many others has the same questions. After getting my 2 master degrees in animation and earning experience in professional industry, I've decided to share my knowledge with you. That's why I created Animation Club.School. Our school is a team of working animators who act like a bridge between students and the industry. We realize that many students struggle to build high professional skills required to secure their job in the industry. So we designed our courses to help you develop an outstanding portfolio. At the moment, we primarily focus on 2D animation. It's where we have the most expertise, and it's my personal passion. We want to see more people thrive in this art form. Each course is carefully designed to deliver knowledge while honing practical skills through hands-on tasks. The curriculum builds gradually over several levels, enabling students to master the program step by step. We aim to help students understand complexity of 2D animation, assess difficulty of the tasks realistically, and set achievable goals to their growth. Our primary focus is on developing animation skills to meet industry standard. While drawing skills are essential, we leave their development to each student individually. However, we encourage outside art study and even offer free drawing sessions in our Discord. Currently, we offer over 12 different courses and we continually adding new professional programs to meet industry demands. But that's not all. Here's what else we offer. Weekly videos that dive into different aspects of animation industry, free monthly masterclass live streams with a mentor, short tutorials across all our social media platforms, an active Discord community where you can connect to passionate creatives from around the world. If you like what you've heard so far, follow us on our social media and check out our courses on our website. I can't wait to see what you create with us.
If you can, oh no, you definitely can hear me now. Okay. I'll try to be a little bit more quiet because I see my mic is peeking into red. Hello, everyone. Whether live and recording, I'm very happy to see all of you. Today we'll have our usual loop-de-loop. Initially, it started as like a once per month, but last couple of months were pretty stacked with other kinds of work and straight up busyness. So we didn't get to have these streams, but I'm finally back here. Hello, as animates. How's it going? And yeah, I'm here to show you a little bit like a cool trick to keep you focused when you're animating, when you're doing something, plus a really cool motion you can try at home with the character you're choosing. You can use the same one. We can all just have Chris swishing a sword and be very cool about this. But before we start and we actually go to the best part, the commemoration of the start of the short film creation course that's going to be doing a Deltarune tribute short film, which is amazing. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Discord, about our activities, and in general. If you haven't been on the activities before, this is a very good chance to kind of get acquainted. So let me change my screen to this. You can't see anything right now, well, in terms of anything happening on the page, but if you are have very good eyeballs, you can probably see that there's a couple of files open at the top. That's for a reason. I'm trying to add pizzazz. So not only you can join the courses that are spanning from basics and foundations of traditional 2D animation to body mechanics, character acting, and of course the short film course. You can also do some extracurricular activities that are completely free and open to all of the people on the Discord server. And we have 2 of them. And if you kind of enjoy my personality, you can always join them. I'm not as flashy, and you can't see my face, so it's a little bit sad, but they're still very, very fun. And also, as a little bonus, I will not only show the stuff we do at these activities, but also I wanted to show you like a practical example of what happens to your brain when you do these for like 2 years. So first, which I wanted to go through, is the Tour de Film. Tour de Film was initially like a practice, kind of chatting Thursdays, but eventually it migrated in Tour de Prop, where we drew different kind of activities like little objects. I would scour the online museums and free galleries and draw them together. And then eventually I thought this was kind of limiting. We want to work with different environments, lightings, compositions that are very, very important when you are trying to be a filmmaker. I believe every animator is kind of a filmmaker in a sense. We're at least actors, and at most we plan so much stuff that it's important to have all of these qualities and abilities with you. So now Tour de Film migrated into Tour de Prop migrated to Tour de Film. And this is our latest example. This is from the movie Arrival. We did it like practically yesterday, and I'm gonna show it a little bigger. So we do 3 screenshots. On these screenshots, we have like 30 minutes per each, and you're free to work in any medium of your choosing. So here, I use like one brush, one layer, straight went to it. And I wanted to show you how my first ever Tour de Film practices look. Over here. Granted, they're a different size, they were much bigger, but as you can see, the level of kind of implied detail is much lower. The palettes are a lot more muted. And oh, I'm very glad that you love doing Tour de Film. I try to keep the movies fun and pretty varied. Sometimes we do animation, sometimes we do black and white just to study values, and we try to keep it varied. And of course, if there's a movie you want to do that's very specific, you can always text me about it either in the Tour de Film subfolder or subchannel. I don't know how to call them properly. Or you can just text me a DM and say, I love this movie a lot, can we draw this together? And I'd be like, of course. And we've done that multiple times. And these are from different movies because we were still kind of testing out the waters, but you can see also a lot of tones are like mixing with each other. And like over here, I would say this is the most impressive out of the 3 because I tried to carry depth, I tried doing some stuff, but mostly color variation is all it's the same everywhere. And the biggest kind of punch in the gut. I did it today and it really surprised me. Look at the values on the pieces on the left and on the right. And how a lot of these values, despite being as colorful and as interesting, when you push all of the colors away, it's mainly very plain. Like you can't see very well what's happening. So subtly, day by day, week by week, when you work and do this, this is kind of a progress you can basically expect from yourself. Granted, it's not only practice, you have to think about what you're doing as well. But this is like very realistic. This is how I started, and this was basically what we did yesterday. To see them in higher definition, of course, you can go to the Discord channel. It's down in the description, and you can scroll through all of our submissions. You are free to submit your works as well. I'm only including mine because I feel it's fair. I asked myself consent to show these works today. So this is Tour de Film. We do it every Thursday. I don't remember what UTC, but you can click on the events. They're recurring every week. So you'll basically have them in your local time, which I think is very convenient. Plus, if you're having, I want to say time skip, but daylight savings. So depending on the part of your world you live in, sometimes your hours change and the events will update automatically, always. So the second thing I wanted to show you as well, because we do stuff on during the week, and also we have 1530 UTC. Thank you so much. And yeah, second thing that we do is Sunday sessions. Sunday sessions is a figure drawing practice. I'm not going to show anything because I want to also, it has the same reveal, so you'll have to look at the pretty pictures from the arrival. Sunday sessions is a practice we do on a regular basis. Also, I try to do it every Sunday, except when I'm sick. You can probably hear it. I'm a little bit sick still from a lot of different events I've told about in the Discord. We draw very, very quick, very rapid human figure studies. Before it was more like also like anatomy studies and stuff, but because they take so much time, and sometimes I don't know what is the best way to kind of talk about this stuff. I recommend books you can always do because, for example, Mike's Matezi, Anatomy, and I don't remember the full name of the book, but we definitely talked about it if you search on the Discord. And also Anatomy for Sculptors is very good, and I think that also helped me a lot in pushing what I have right now. But also, as you can see, theory and practice, they go hand in hand together. So for example, here is my from the beginning of 2025. So it's like a year and a half, maybe a bit less. I have a screen. Not what I wanted. Okay. So here is from 2025. Still pretty good for 3-minute drawings. I'd say pretty solid. But I feel like the characters are a little bit like stiff. And very quick, very loose drawings help you to go from something like this to something like this. So you can see I use a lot more force, motion, and I'm much, much more playful in terms of what I'm putting on the screen. Again, it's very realistic progress. It's a year and a half. Something you could do if you study at very regular intervals and also apply some theory and just have a watchful eye in general when you're looking at other people's art, because I think that also helped me a lot. Yeah, a lot of stuff, of course, is much more loose. But at the same time, I think there's much more personality in the drawings. And when you do these like very quick fire, like rapid drawings, you don't think about like stuff consciously. Everything is just happening under your active working brain, and you're putting just enough strokes to put that kind of inner vision out on the page, which I think is also very, very important. And yeah, you can always join us, as Animate said, at 15:30 UTC, or you can check it in your local time if you go down into the description. And yeah, check our events. Feel free to join at any of them. Also, sharing your works is not, you're not obligated to do so. It's just for you to get a couple of compliments and, of course, to track your own progress. But as you can see, you can really improve with consistent practice, with a little bit of theory, and what do you know? You can do it absolutely for free with me, the most funniest, loveliest, and of course the most humble host you could have ever had on any kind of practice. No questions, no contestant. I can also show a little bit of the other ones. So these are the 3-minute ones, and for example, here's the 5-minute ones. Also, I think very good. Like I have the anatomy going down. There's like a lot of stuff I know, some of the stuff I don't hide. And for example, here is the 5-minute ones right now. Much more, I think, wiser usage of the lines, of the forms, and you can do that too. So without further ado, let me close everything we don't need so my iPad doesn't fry itself, because I have absolutely no free memory. I'll have to clean out a lot of my stuff because I can't even take pictures on my phone anymore. It just doesn't open the camera. I wanted to show you a little thing, a little exercise you can do. It's not going to take you a lot of time, depending on how wisely you're going to be spending it. And today we're going to do an animation of Chris from Deltarune, a little bit of my interpretation. I don't know how it's going to look like in the final project of the school. Probably a lot cooler. We have such a talented crew supporting the students, and of course the students are genuinely gems. So, and I think there's still time to join. Today they had the kickoff meeting. I don't know if it will be accessible in the future, but you can always join the course and basically catch yourself up to speed. We'll be doing this little 2 key, a couple of breakdowns, and a couple of overshoots. Work of Chris having sword up and then sword down. It's like very warp perspective, just because this looks very, very cool. So the 3 steps you will have to think about are also extremely simple. For a lot of people, it's going to be common knowledge, but sometimes when people only start animating, they get, like I did, get confused and lost in terms of like where to go first, where to go second, third, and it makes it very, very complicated. I'm sorry if you can hear the sore throat a little bit too much. I've been sick this past week. So here I have the keys, and obviously your first step, well, I think even before the 3 actual steps in practice you take, the first one is the idea. It has to be cool to you. If you're doing the project on your own, obviously. If there's like a work pipeline and the director gives you like a cut, obviously that step is already done for you. And sometimes those people, most of the times those people are a lot smarter, talented, and wiser than you. So their ideas are gonna be a lot cooler from the get-go. Well, at least in my case. I'm not saying my ideas aren't cool, but you know, having someone who's like a visionary give you something to work on, it's always very fun. So first is the idea. Here I had the idea of making like this intimidating pose of Chris swishing his sword and pointing it somewhere at the camera, maybe at the viewer, could be implied. And after that kind of first step is done, you can go to the actual, that was step 0, and the step 1 is obviously the keys. I started with something like this. Well, I lied. There was actually one more step beforehand when I did this pose, but it was very, very rough. So I cleaned it out and I added another pose. So you can see there's a lot of elements that are already here, but they're mainly swishing it around a little bit. And I wasn't satisfied because the cleaner you have your keys, especially if the animation is very simple, the better control you have over everything else. You can obviously work on everything in super, super rough detail and kind of then work it out, especially if the movement is very complicated. It's nice to just go straight ahead a little bit, figure out the movement, and then focus on the keys. But when you have a couple of keys that are pretty clean, for example, you see that the armor doesn't really change sizes, changes volumes, stuff that's not 100% important to the shot. For example, everything that's not the hand and the sword that's being swished, you can not copy and paste it. I did not copy and paste it. I redrew it. Some of the places, not the head. You can basically keep it a little bit more consistent. And as you can see, stuff that reacts to the hand and the head obviously has been redrawn from the start to keep the volume the same, like the scarf, a little bit of the body, because when you pull your hands up, a lot of the muscles are gonna stretch, and therefore the silhouette is gonna be a tad bit slimmer. And of course, yeah, the hand itself, 2 poses that I'm more or less satisfied in. I would say this is still a very rough sketch for me, but the design is pretty simple, so clearing it out, making your next step is gonna be easier. And what I wanna do, I wanna have this very snappy motion, almost like pow! And to do that pow pose, I think we need to go to our step 2, which is... Do you like the presentation? I really thought about it. Is the breakdowns. Maybe you, if you have like a very, what do you call it? If you're very attentive, you can probably notice this big arc I drew, mainly for myself, forgot to remove it, but now you're gonna be witnesses to it as well. And as you can see, making it a little bit louder, more visible, there are the keys where the sword is pointing, right here, 1. I'm gonna keep it like this, 1, and then we have 2. And we have a couple of places, for example, this one and this one. Thank you. I'm glad you feel it looks so cool. We go to 1 and 2, and there's 2. Let's mark these keys. I don't know how they mark them. Every production does these little markings differently. So let's say the keys are the triangles, and everything else is gonna be a breakdown. So to understand where the breakdowns would be, especially for example here, the movement is very, very quick. So it needs to have a little bit of easing in, and then it's gonna be like a rapid movement. So there's a lot of space in between the frames to show how quickly the hand moves. We still have an extra, see, the sizing is completely different, like twice or thrice as bigger, which makes absolute sense. The hand is starting to move slower and then it snaps into position. So obviously in between the breakdown, before the end of the movement and the end of the movement itself, obviously it's gonna be very different. I'm sorry if I'm explaining very, baseline stuff, but I think it's also sometimes important to just talk through stuff like that, especially if you're only starting and kind of trying to figure out how does it work at all. Because I remember when I was only starting animation, I basically did no animation before Animation Club.School, which also a good testament where the courses can take you. I'm not gonna say anything else. I was very confused with the breakdowns, the keys, the in-betweens, how everything works together, and my spacing would be very, very choppy. So I'm doing it mostly for my past self. So obviously the spacing between this breakdown and this breakdown is going to be very, very different. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can explain in theory. We'll just have to go and do the practice. One more thing I think I want to try implementing when I'm going to be drawing is that I want, well, for example, you will see me like this. When Chris moves the sword down, I don't want it to be just like a robot moving at the same angle. Probably what I'm gonna do is move the elbow a little bit first and let the wrist fall back a little bit so they're almost following like this. See? So for that to happen, we'll need to use a lot of brain power. Hopefully I have enough today. And we start new layer. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this like this. I'm gonna be mainly focusing on the arm. If we have enough time to make the rest of the body, I will do the rest of the body. If not, I'm just gonna do like an outline so the brain can still keep all of the volumes together. So here is gonna be the sword position. I think the position of the sword is probably gonna be something like this. The hand is gonna be falling like this. And how to use the Clip Studio for animating and stuff. The last loop-de-loop that I did was specifically about that, all of the stuff you need to know to start it out, and a couple of tips and tricks that could just help you make more efficient results. And I'm really... It's gonna be obviously very messy, but I think every time you log into like a live of any kind of animator, no matter the skill, they're all gonna say, please don't judge me, it's really messy, because it is really messy and animation takes a lot of time. So at this point, it has to be like implied in general. So here's the sword. Probably want to move it a little bit even further, like this. Gonna move that thing. This is probably gonna be like this. Gonna do them, try to make them as clean as I can, but usually when I draft stuff, everything's really messy until I go through like a couple of passes to make this work. No. Good, but I don't think I like how the hand is looking, so. I'm gonna make it a bit too big. And let's put the second breakdown. I'm not really, what would you say? What would you call it? Precise on the like timing wise, mainly because I wanna figure out that everything works first, and then you can always tweak and choose. Remember the last stream we had with Edward? That's exactly what we talked about when he was creating the golden carrot animation with the turning of the camera. That because we work with digital tools, we are allowed to basically roam free and kind of experiment with the timings and how it works for us. So, before, when you had only paper to go through, it was very, very hard because you had to plan a lot, and then you had to take photos, you had to develop the photos, you know, putting on a film reel was a lot harder. So a lot of the stuff had to be much more premeditated. Thankfully now, I think it's a little bit too out. I can't say that, it's Pride Month. By the way, happy Pride Month to anyone who is celebrating it, like I do. Hopefully you have a lot of celebrations. Here, because I live in the southern hemisphere, we celebrate Pride at November. So right now it's getting to like the middle of winter, and that's why I'm sick. Maybe like this. A little bit too high. Skew. And there we go. I'm sorry for using so many transform tools, but that's just how it goes. As I said, the means have been democratized, and why shouldn't I use the digital privileges I've been bestowed upon? Yeah, but it's natural to forget that the summer isn't like on the whole world, because I think I've read it somewhere that only 10% of people live in the southern hemisphere. It's mostly the ocean. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna cut this a little bit. Yep. Pretty close to what I wanted. I think the hand has to be a little bit lower just for it to be read a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the pivot point in the shoulder, move it a little bit lower in general, and like this. Let's see if it works a little bit better. Sorta close to what I wanted. So once we have these like dirty, is weird to say, these rough breakdowns established, we can clean them up just for my pleasure. 1, 2. I like to clean out every step a little bit, even though it's kind of already functioning, mainly because our brains are very wired to find patterns and find the best solutions subconsciously. So sometimes that's the reason why your messy sketch feels so alive and good, and once you transfer it onto paper, it looks best to say mediocre and sometimes just completely not what you expected it to be. Because our brain kind of chooses the best pathways to kind of let us read form and function. When you clean it out, you do it consciously, choosing where everything is going to be. And once you kind of look it over, already clean and proper, you can see what you've been doing wrong and what you can improve. And where your brain has been lying to. This. And I think just to stay like this. I can fix the hand till eternity. Just gonna do this and trick my brain into thinking that's an okay picture. There we go with the shoulder. Forgot the name of the muscle that creates the armpit. Thinning out some of the stuff. I have a tendency to draw very big, muscly hands, so sometimes I have to run it back a little bit, look from afar, and see if it even works. Maybe the elbow would be a little bit lower. Welcome! You have a very long nickname, so I'm just gonna call you Cammy. You're free to do this with us. We're doing a very simple animation of Chris from Deltarune because our school is gonna be doing a short film tribute to Deltarune, and I have to celebrate it as well. Maybe. You know what I want to do? Let me finish the sword, and I want to manipulate it a little bit more. And you are free to do an animation like that yourself. For that, there are 3. Oh, I'm gonna repeat it while I'm here. It's gonna take 3 really important steps. First, of course, creating the idea where a very snappy, quick animation would work. Something you find cool, so it'll stay keep you motivated while you animate, because animation is a very long marathon kind of process. And then first, you have to create very clean keys, which I already did before, because I'm very anxious sometimes to stream, so I want to have at least 10 minutes of talking prepped, and maybe it will get me loose enough. You do the keys, and after the keys, you do the breakdowns. I think Edward shared like a very, the hand goes and becomes a lot bigger. So probably what I can do is cut it like this. Lead with the elbow. Oh, it happens. I also slept in, if I'm being honest. Because in my hours it's a lot earlier, and I felt pretty tired, and being sick also doesn't help waking up on time. There we go. So I think there was like a very good saying Edward showed us with the keys, breakdowns, and everything, is the keys tell you what is happening, and the breakdowns are telling you how it's happening. For example, I'm not gonna share any more like specific details, but recently I did animation test where they basically give you the keys and you have to create the breakdowns to see what kind of movement you will come up with the given topic. So both of these are really important. But having clean keys is always going to help you, because you always know what to... Also very muscly. What to track. Well, I think it's a little bit of an improvement. Let me put the shoulder pad. And then we poof, we delete it. Let me rename these. Push away the 3 so I can see that the edge of my shoulder pad is flying a little bit too much to the right, or now to the left. So I'm making sure it doesn't. There we go. More or less clean hand. Drawing arms, I wouldn't say I'm like super good, but I am, what do you call it? Enough to make it comfortable when you're like free sketching and just having fun. Don't think I didn't look any references or anything before I started. I'd look at 300 pictures, and no joke, I put the camera on and I just went like this with my hand. Just to see kind of what big shapes the hand can do when it's holding like an object like this. So I'm not using TV Paint, I'm using Clip Studio Paint, and I'm using an iPad because I like working on an iPad, because in the main room I'm working on an animation, and then when I want to make some tea or something, I take the iPad, put the TikTok on, it's my little TV. But I do have a normal, what do you call it? a normal tablet when I need to work on stuff like Adobe Animate or TV Paint and stuff. So at least I'm knowledgeable. Kinda, I won't say I hate it. I can't say I like it. Okay, let's keep it like this because I think I'll be fixing it to eternity. Let's take a second breakdown. That's over here. And now we have the position of the sword, the very messy hand. There we go. Let's put it here. We only need this. And this is close. Just gonna put this right away. Yeah. Then we have our hand. Maybe I'm thinking... Yeah, it's like a very, very forced perspective, so not much I can do with it. See, I'm gonna like do like this. Maybe it's gonna be like, yeah, this hand. I'm looking at my camera with you guys. Right. Even if I flip it, it's gonna give me a better shot. Like, yeah. Maybe. Let's see. Because this is gonna be kind of the... No. It's gonna be on the top. Then we have the glove, and the glove goes way wider than the thing. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more in just a second. I'm kind of just making a better version than this, because I think only I can see what's actually happening on the screen when a hand like this happens. Like this. Ooh, also, since I have like a couple of people in the chat, hello. Not sure how to correctly pronounce the nickname, but I'm gonna call you Sumit. Hopefully that's right. And let's see, we have the kind of the elbow. Probably gonna be like somewhere here, maybe. Like this. It's gonna be like this. We kind of can see the bottom of the hand. It's still not obstructed completely by the glove. And then we're gonna have... I'm not sure what kind of sword Chris has. I remember the general shape, but because it's so pixelated, there's not much information I can pull from. Give some perspective on the sides to make it sure it's like a little bit smaller. Give it a little more bicep. It is using a lot of force to hold up a sword like this, so. Whip, whip. There you go. And then yeah, let me do the sword. So the sword is gonna be, what's on the last one? It's more circly than I initially did it. I like the square ends a little bit more. Well, this is too square. Okay. Also, it's thinner and probably smaller. So I'm just gonna do whoop, whoop, dun, dun. I'm gonna take some. Once I'm gonna delete this frame in the middle, I'm gonna do some tweaking to the final shape. There we go. There we go. Yeah. You can try with something a lot simpler. It doesn't have to be like a whole sword in perspective. Going like this. Ooh. Hopefully my internet is working. Doesn't have to be something so complicated. You can choose a simple turnaround with the character. Or you can just, like we have in the free lessons, if you go to the Discord and you go into free lessons, there's a jumping cup, which is basically the same thing. You have the keys, you have the breakdown, you have a little bit of like the in-betweens you can add to make it a little bit more flavorful. Done. Ready. And it's a much more simpler design, so you can always use it any way you'd like. So let me get back to the drawing. But you know, also I think in a lot of the cases that, like, when I also feel a lot of the times lazy and giving up at some point, especially when I have some very complicated pieces and I'm too overwhelmed to come back to them. Sometimes it's just because I'm trying to run a marathon when I've been only running for like less than a kilometer long. You have to build up that stamina to be able to use it. And sometimes when you get too tired, you just gotta take a break. No, absolutely no shame in that. Let me see. Yep, pretty much like this. Number 2. There we go. And I'll add the divots. Probably gonna make them a little bit more curved, like I did in the last shot. Which is gonna be 1. And it's gonna be 2. There we go. And I'll make the tip of the sword a little more dense in the line art, so it feels like it's a lot closer. There we go. And I think, yeah, I can delete this one. We don't need it anymore. And we can clean up what we have already. Let me see. Yeah, we probably won't be able to see the handle almost at all. So we have it like this. Do I see the fingers from the bottom? No, I don't. So I'm probably gonna keep just a little bit of the finger. I'll probably change this, since the perspective feels somewhat either the same or sharper. Trim that fat on the finger and add the divot right here. And from there, yeah, let's see how it looks with the cleaned out shot. I think this stayed in the same spot for a little too long, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and probably start from scratch, because I need to create the mask that's gonna be lower than this, but still higher in here. Here goes our finger. Here goes our hand. And then we have a little bit of muscle peeking through. Let's see if this works a little bit better. A little bit too much. Maybe then, you know what I'll do? I'll reposition the sword a little bit higher so I can give it a little bit of an elbow bend. There we go. One. And we're gonna have two as the hand. There's our shoulder. Yes. Yeah. I think this is much more closer than the first attempt I did. Still a little jumpy. I think it mainly comes from the... At this point, it's the palm. And we're gonna go flip and flip and flip. And flip. So maybe what I would do... This is not the center. I don't know if you can hear someone's like revving their bike right outside my window. Yeah. Completely unobtrusive. Joie de vivre of the city. You can't really have a good neighborhood if there's no one isn't revving up their bike unexpected hours of the day. Well, if this arm isn't gonna work out, sorta, kinda does. A little bit. Then we'll put this here. What is this? And I'm not sure what this is either. Now I do. Be something like this, I think. Kind of the bicep peeking over the shoulder pad. Okay. Now let me remove this and let me make a very quick what do you call it? Silhouette, just so I can feel where the whole body is at any given moment. It's nothing too super complicated. I just like doing it when I'm not completely drawing through the whole thing, but I kind of want to know how the body will be feeling. And here this is very simple because we have a breakdown that's very, very close to our previous frame and one breakdown that's like very, very far to the next one. So I'm gonna treat these accordingly. I'm not gonna even do this. Well, it's not complicated when you have, like in caveman speak, blue stripe past, red stripe forward. If you moved a little bit forward, you keep the green stripe next to the blue stripe. But it only works in this case and in this animation. It would probably work somewhere different in other spaces, but close to blue stripe means closer to the first key. No, it's on the outside here. Obviously, this will only work if I flip and I'm actually satisfied with how it looks. Sometimes when you don't have enough space, here being very pixel perfect also matters, especially when you have like very subtle movements, because obviously if you do it wrong, it will look like it's just jittering and not really following like a specific movement. Yup. Yeah, this works. I'm gonna do one more on the other breakdown. And, you know, since it's very rough, we did the step 2. Also, I think, Sumit, you also talked about the fatigue. In general, not fatigue, but like lazy to give it up. So you give it up. But I don't think it's laziness, it's generally just fatigue from having to exert so much strength and stamina on one picture that you kind of just get overwhelmed and you don't want to do it anymore, which is also happens to the best of us. This is a very good way to keep that fatigue at bay. You kind of get the best of both worlds because you get to have a very fun looking result and you still did something to make the piece much more cohesive. Indulge yourself. We already would be able to see this. There. Now we go. We take this. Number 3, we put the 2 away. And now we do the same thing, but we just keep it close to the red. Wow. Wow. Let's do the red. Oop. And there's still like this, so I'm gonna keep the spacing here much bigger. And then we go to the red. Still go a little bit higher, because every piece is moving down. But once we get finished with the breakdowns, we will do the overshoots, where I think the real fun kind of begins and everything like jigsaw falling into place. To exchange each other as you pass. She looks back and you look back. No, it has to be closer. Oop. And then we put the legs in. Basically, stuff that doesn't move will not have any extra jitter. And like this. I think I've been going for. Thank you! I appreciate it. Hopefully it does come together very nice. And like this to keep the shoulder a little bit higher. Let me see. Yes! An animator raised by flies. Oh, this is okay. Let me finish the hair. Check that everything works when we flip it. So our breakdowns are going to be settled, and then we're going to go and draw the overshoots. Kind of the key to making the motion snappy and fun. Whoop, there we go. Last hair. And I'm just gonna, not gonna draw the whole face, but I wanna keep the hair strands settled. Plus I drew them on the other one So it'd be nice to see if I did them correctly. We go 1, 2, we go 3 for the eye bag, and then we go for the cheek. And there we go. Now, ooh, and there we go. Yeah. Ooh. This still doesn't have a lot of timing, but looking through the motion, I think it looks pretty good. Let's flip back and forth. I really like how the tail ends here. And in general, I don't like how this one acts. There's not a lot of force pulling it to give it a drag. Fine here. Let's see. Yeah, this is fine. And I need to add the rest of the cape. Yeah. Probably, if I would go back and restart, I would probably do the scarf a little bit differently, because when you drop, the fabric could have a little bit of like stay on the top, because it's much lighter than the sword or the hand, so it's gonna slide a little bit. But we're gonna have everything move synchronized, because it's just kind of a little fun demo. And maybe I'm gonna, on this one, add that bicep line, so it's gonna be more visible. And it should be more visible, because it's gonna be covering a lot of the armpit. Animation, nothing needs perfection. I think you should go as much as you can to make it satisfying. Well, you'll never make it perfect, because I will never make it perfect, because no mentor will ever be able to make it perfect. You gotta make it, I think the key is kind of making it appealing to you and readable for everyone else. So your ideas transfer easily to other people. So, you know, when you look at this, you see, oh, there's a person. They have armor. They're holding a sword. They're pointing a sword. That's it. If I like how it looks, it's appealing, it has good shapes, you're done. Everything else is kind of just an extra flavor, you know. So no. And if we're talking about perfection as in kind of making it, like improving it and stuff, then just better than your last animation. If you try to make your stuff better than what you did before, no matter yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, a year ago, you're settled. You're good. Okay, let's go back to our beautiful, beautiful thing. So the last third step would be the overshoots. So to make the movement feel like really, really snappy, I'm gonna add a couple of frames. Which are gonna make it feel like there's a lot of kind of force in that whip of the sword. To do that, we're gonna be adding a little bit anticipation before the hand moves, and we're gonna add a little bit of, well, yeah, technically, overshoot when the hand pauses. You can even see it right now when I'm moving. Like there's a little bit of bounce back. And we're gonna do just that. So let's go over here, create new frame. Okay. Create new frame. And then we have our original movement. What I'm gonna do is gonna be really simple. Just gonna draw a shape that's reminiscent of the shape we saw on the Queen key. We don't need to do too much work to have something on paper. I remember I really liked the trend, the one like draw it first and then make it better later, where they have like the incomplete circle and like a, well, I can't draw a perfect circle. I found out after watching Witch Hat Atelier. But you know, you can make it always better looking a little bit later. Here I'm gonna put the thing here. Or you know what we could do? Maybe what I actually can do is move the hand a little bit forward. No. Just move it here. Just move it here. And then take the fist. Like this. Yeah. So our sword is gonna be dragging a little bit. And to not be funky with the sizes, I'm just gonna do this. In TV Paint, there's much more convenient function to do. It's called Shift and Trace. And maybe, since I have such a... Yeah, it's not moving here. Let me move it a little bit. Just so the elbow is already moving down, but the sword is kind of dragging back a little bit. See if it works. I think I'm also very subconscious showing animation on live streams is because the right solution comes on the 4th attempt to do a kind of fun movement. I always have these like rough pass. It's not just like one drawing from the get-go. It's 4 or 5 versions trying to refine that initial idea when it kind of starts like pulling together. So you will forgive me, but hopefully if you are the same, you won't feel as lonely. Even when I'm alone, I pull a face like that. I think we need... Oh, this is pretty good. I'm probably gonna do this thing then. And now we have the overshoot, which is gonna be this sword shape, but lower. We're not gonna see any of the side view, only here at the top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pull the sword from the previous picture. Big rhombus. And with this rhombus, I'm gonna take it, gonna free transform it like this. We also need to do a lot of movement on the overshoots. A lot of animations is just being this like pixel perfect in a sense. Sometimes just 1 pixel to the left or the right is enough for... No, I think here we gotta go lower. Maybe we can go like this and like this. If we really want to make it super smooth, we can even add a little bit, like 1 frame in between the overshoot and kind of the final position. But I like it when it's a little bit snappy. Nothing wrong with it. Even do a shrink selection. Yeah. And we pull it like this. We play around a little bit. Sorry. Like this, maybe? No, we'll see. And then the hand is gonna be lower, lower, lower. The arm, the glove, or the gauntlet, I'm not sure. I kind of choose to believe that in the dark world where Chris and Susie go, everything is just made out of like foam. You know how those like costumes of knights for kids are? It's just all kind of soft, stretchy, a little bit. It is a kind of kids' fantastical play, after all. Let's see. Is it sick or not? Yes, very, very much so. Your three answers. Democracy. It's a little all over the place with the like here. Maybe it should be like this. I'll probably have to change this. Yeah, see? By adding a couple of overshoots, this is already working pretty good. Let me remove the... There we go. Not bad. We did our keys, we did our breakdowns, and here we will be finishing the overshoots with the rest of the body. And basically there you go. I would say this is a very good rough pass. You don't have to do it further. Very good, kind of coming back to the topic of perfection. This is just a simple exercise, kind of a simple demo to try on your own. It took me, the whole thing, 2 hours, which is a good time for like a whole practice. I will be cleaning out in a couple of minutes, but we've been going for like an hour and a half. And I spent like 30 minutes to creating the, what do you call it? The keys, and there we go. Whole snappy thing ready. The only thing I'd probably change is I have some stuff on 3s. And I think you want to do it like this. Yeah. There's probably ways to make it a lot more snappy. But I think this is good. Let's add the... because I like having the silhouette behind it. And then we will have like a pair of fresh eyes to basically look at the hand positions. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate it. Whoop. There we go. Whoop. And I go whoop, whoop. I'm not gonna even draw anything in the middle. The point is just to keep the silhouette. The brain will figure out the rest of the things, and we will need to fix it. We will have enough, what do you call it? Starting material. Again, sorry for the the sick voice. I had a wild week. Some people on the Discord know that last Thursday a dog bit me. Thankfully, it was my friend's dog. It was not like a puppy, it was an adolescent, but it wasn't vaccinated, so the teeth were very sharp. And obviously, since there's no vaccinations, the dog is not, obviously doesn't have any rabies or anything, but I had to get a tetanus shot and get like a round of antibiotics to prevent any kind of infections developing from the bite. And then when I started having antibiotics, I guess the immune system was kind of on its last leg in general, so I got sick. And I'm still feeling a little bit sick, but I am much better. Okay. Let me put the shoulder because the thing is moving down. And I think this has to be a little lower. Yeah. Well, I thought maybe it was like some kind of weird reaction to like my body just because it was going through so much stress, but it's actually true. Tetanus shots are one of the most painful shots you can get. But the upside is you get it once every 10 years. So next time I'll have to figure out getting the shot. It's gonna be in a very long time ago. And this one will also delete it because the hand with the muscles is going a little lower. Then I'm gonna have that muscle. I'm gonna give some more space to the muscle here. Like that. Yeah! See what I'm talking about? When you put a little bit of the detailing away and just keep the silhouette, you can still feel how like the whole body is moving a little bit down with the motion. Which is exactly what we need. The only problem here, it's a little bit too much. Probably need to do something like this. Now we go here. And again, just the main silhouette because we have some details in the breakdowns. So the brain will keep the information. Yeah. Do. Also about the dog bite, I have about like a little bit funny story. The bite itself was a little painful, but it was okay. There's like not a lot of injuries and stuff. I just have a little bruise now at this point. But I was advised to go to the special center that tracks like, you know, dog bites and zoonosis, like zoonotic diseases, the one that go from animal to human. And the thing is, my city didn't have like a rabies case in like 7 years, and dog bites are very rare in general. We don't have a lot of dogs that just roaming around most of the time. So the whole department, as soon as I walked in, they got up. They finally had work they needed to do. And then they were putting my information in. It was so funny. Everyone was standing there, like around the lady who had like a very low voice, and she was like tapping like this on the keyboard. Like 6 people just looking into that one monitor, and everyone is asking me questions. Everyone has a turn. So like everyone has enough time, an opportunity to work, which I respect. Teamwork is the dream work after all. And if everyone is asking a question, it means everyone's working, so no one can be fired. And still they wrote my last name, my first name, the dog's name wrong. And with the dog, okay, you could mishear the dog's name, but I literally gave them my ID card when I was sharing my first and last name because it's pretty big. There we go, and here. Now let's see. Yeah. Perfect. Let me fix this one because I wanted to have a more visible outline. There we go, like this. And yeah, our 3-step program to creating a fun animation exercise is basically over. Here it is. Sort up, sort down, and before and after the movement there's a little bit of a like an overshoot to make the main movement much better. Oh yeah, I was definitely star of that of that medical department for sure. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna add anything in terms of like the scarf moving and stuff because we have enough info in the keyframes and in the more or less detailed backgrounds. Thank you, I appreciate it. I also think it looks pretty cool. Maybe if I will have the time, I do have a lot of work still left to do. I might clean up a little bit and color it so it kind of looks a little bit more fun. But if you'd like, I can share. Ooh, my voice is like slowly giving out, so I think it's a good time to start kind of rolling to a close. I will share the original file so you can dig through it yourself, and of course I'm gonna share like basically the steps I did in text. So if you'd like to try do an animation with some kind of movement like this on your own, you will have the main file and all of the instructions. So yeah, not sure what to add from the stuff I already told you at the start of the stream, but if you'd like to practice more figure studies or compositions, you can always go to our Discord server and check out Tour de Film and Sunday sessions. If you like doing animations like this, you can check the rest of the videos and lives in Loop de Loop. I talk about how to use Clip Studio Paint to animate. I do simple animations in the other episodes. So there's a perfect amount of content for you to kind of fill your day and have fun and be productive at the same time. And yeah, and of course, obviously, if you like all of the free activities you do, you can start our courses as well. The Deltarune short film course, the kickoff meeting was today. You are still, I think, able to join it, and you are able to join the rest of the animation courses, but they're more focused on your solo work, such as foundations, body mechanics, acting, and of course, if you're better on the visual development side of things, you can also join our visual development group for the film and be maybe responsible for the backgrounds or the designs, the characters, gonna have. Well, obviously, there's a lot of base from the art style itself, but there's still so much more development that goes into creating a short film that you will have basically a real pipeline experience. And yeah, this was Kata. This was Animation Club School. Yeah, I'm very happy that you decided to subscribe. You can also join us in the Discord, and I will see any of you who would be willing to join us on the Sunday sessions on Sunday. And for the rest, hopefully I will get to see you in class or on the next loop-de-loop. Thank you again for joining me today. This was Kata from Animation Club School. And yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Edward Kurczewski and I've been working in 2D traditional animation for over 10 years and have contributed to projects like Scavenger's Reign, Primal, Flea, and Tales of Alectrion. Working in animation has been my dream as long as I can remember. I've always wanted to create worlds and bring characters to life. The first challenge I faced was, where do I start? Where I can learn this? I noticed that many others has the same questions. After getting my 2 master degrees in animation and earning experience in professional industry, I've decided to share my knowledge with you. That's why I created Animation Club School. Our school is a team of working animators who act like a bridge between students and the industry. We realize that many students struggle to build high professional skills required to secure their job in the industry. So we designed our courses to help you develop an outstanding portfolio. At the moment, we primarily focus on 2D animation. It's where we have the most expertise, and it's my personal passion. We want to see more people thrive in this art form. Each course is carefully designed to deliver knowledge while honing practical skills through hands-on tasks. The curriculum builds gradually over several levels, enabling students to master the program step by step. We aim to help students understand complexity of 2D animation, assess difficulty of the tasks realistically, and set achievable goals to their growth. Our primary focus is on developing animation skills to meet industry standard. While drawing skills are essential, we leave their development to each student individually. However, we encourage outside art study and even offer free drawing sessions in our Discord. Currently, we offer over 12 different courses and we continually adding new professional programs to meet industry demands. But that's not all. Here's what else we offer. Weekly videos that dive into different aspects of animation industry, free monthly masterclass live streams with a mentor, short tutorials across all our social media platforms, an active Discord community where you can connect to passionate creatives from around the world. If you like what you've heard so far, follow us on our social media and check out our courses on our website. I can't wait to see what you create with us.